2 1 2 1 2. Bad Truth is in the building. What's up, man? What's going down? Man, let me get my chats on. What's happening with y'all? See, it's like one person on deck. Yeah, man. Thursday, Love versus Hate, the new little series that I was doing, man. What's happening with everybody? Everybody good? That's what's up. Uh, Scrambling, trying to get everything together, man. Trying to, you know, have some different thoughts and stuff for tonight, man. Just wanted to see what's happening. So, Lisa, what's going down, sis? Just chilling, man. Just wanted to tap in with y'all and try to see what was happening. I keep telling y'all, man, long as I'm paying for this restream, I'm just gonna turn on. You dig what I'm saying? I'm gonna turn on the camera. Doing good today. That's what's up. You know what I gotta do? I gotta get up and try to catch your intercessory prayer. Salisa does an intercessory prayer at 6 o'clock in the morning to 6:30 in the morning. Most of the time, sis, that's when I'm going to sleep. And so, yeah, I usually try to pray before I go down, but I've been dealing with insomnia, man, kind of like hard to sleep. And so my doctor's been telling me that it's probably, you know, just mind racing, won't shut down. Let me try to get a little bit more light. As I was moving around, I broke my, okay, I'm gonna do that one. I broke my one lamp over there, the little ring light that I had. But yeah, man, it's like my mind it races, and so it won't go to sleep like everybody else's mind go to sleep. It's like I was telling her about how I got this like little workshop, and so I could be over there cutting hair, I can be over here making beats, working on a podcast, reading some stuff, or I can go over there and I can draw. And as I'm doing all of these different projects, what happen is when it's time to go to sleep, my mind won't register to go to sleep. It just won't shut down. And so that's what's happening with me. And so it's causing sleep insomnia. So it's hard to go to sleep. And so I usually wind up going to sleep at like 5, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, you know. So, uh, man, it's a lot of stuff going on this week, man. So I just want to say, first of all, shout out to the Nunn family. Rest in peace to my big cousin Dulam. Man, I remember, man, he came through the joint when I was in the joint. We got a chance to spend a little time together and stuff like that, man. So to Bird and Pooh, the twins, Sierra, Tierra, man, just want to let y'all know I love y'all. I'm going to shoot through on y'all tomorrow before I get ready to go to nap. Saturday, I'm going to be 45. You dig what I'm saying? If it's God's will, he wake me up on Saturday morning, March the 4th. It'll be another year that he's kept me. And so I'm planning on shooting up to the nap and hanging out with my peoples. You know the routine. Turn up for Christ or burn up for life. We definitely gonna do that until the wheels fall off, you know. But yeah, man, this new little thing that we've been doing, love versus hate. Like last week, we got some good response, and it was a couple of people that kind of liked it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to do it again. I thought I was gonna have to pick my daughter up. That's why I'm going so late. I'm going at 10. I should have did it at 9 o'clock. And I really could have did it earlier than that, but I had a lot of people trying to get their hair cut before I get out of town. And so this week I wanted to kind of switch it up though. Like last week we had some fun, man. We was doing the thing where we was going love versus hate, and we did like a bunch of quotes, um, things that you could say to your spouse or say to somebody that might just lift their day up. Vice versa, some things that people might try to hate on you about, how to maneuver when people is trying to hate on you to be successful, or when they see you doing good things, how people is always trying to hate. And so love versus hate is a real thing though. If you really think about it, it's the balance of the world. You got the enemy, which is not anywhere near greater than Christ. You dig what I'm saying? But he's here. And we gave him dominion over the earth, man. So he get to turn up. He can, what I mean? He could try to influence as many people as he can because he knows his destiny. And so whether you believe it or not, you know what I mean? Hate is here, and it's going to be here. And you're going to see some of the illest things happening in these last days that we ever seen before. And you can see some of it like now, you know what I mean? Like I keep telling you, with all the different types of drugs, suicide is on an all-time high. Bullying is on an all-time high. Going into different stores and places, like it's the norm now to go shoot up a store. Come on, that's not normal. It's not funny, but it's not normal, just to go in a place and just shoot it up. And so, love versus hate. I think every week I want to try to take an issue and just try to give you the positive, vice versus the negative parts of it, and then let's try to see if we can go from it. We know, like last um, month was Black History Month, but Black History Month can't be just a month. Black History Month is American history. You dig what I'm saying? So you can't have American history without Black people. So Black history is American history. But when we talk about like racism, I don't ever want you to ever get it twisted, because no matter how, lopsided or unequal it is, you know what I mean, with race here in this country, different people receive different benefits based off their skin color. Everybody is not bad people. No matter how crazy that it might have been, coming through slavery. Even in slavery, you had abolitionists, abolitionists, and these are people that was trying to abolish slavery. And to keep it real, when they was doing the Underground Railroad with Harriet Tubman, there weren't black people houses they were staying at. They were staying at white people houses. You know what I mean? White people own properties and different homes and stuff. And so, matter of fact, if you go out on Elmore, where that hotel used to be at, we learned that there used to be a house there where, because Iowa was one of the free states that was considered up north. Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana was considered one of the free states. And if you can get up here, you can get your freedom. You know what I mean? And so, as crazy as the judicial system is in Iowa, when it comes to black versus white, it's so lopsided. You would still think that it's racist, but believe it or not, over on Elmore Street, there was a house that used to, you know what I mean, hide people for the Underground Railroad. It used to be one of the places where people can come up, you know what I mean, over there. And I think it's right there where that hotel used to be at, you know what I mean. And so I learned that when I was in prison. And so I said all of that to say this, man. When I was in prison, I met some really cool white people. You know, um, I met some guys, you know what I mean, that I could say, that had so much love for me. You know what I mean, that we kicked it and we did our time. Whether it's working out, whether it's fellowshipping, going to Bible study, sitting down reading the Bible, doing some cool stuff like that. That these guys was genuine good people to me. And then, like I keep telling you about the lady Mary Cohen, man, the doctor, where she's over the music program at the University of Iowa. This lady is continuously blessing me. You know what I mean? This month in March, she turned me on to a lady who's putting me on this panel for these medical grad students that's coming out of college, and they're getting ready to maybe jump into a career. I don't know whether or not they're going into prisons or not, but they put me on this panel because they want to be able to ask me questions and talk to me about life in prison, about how to deal with inmates and stuff like that. And so, she interviewed me. Mary turned her on to me, and she emailed me back and said that they picked me to be on the panel. I got like about 15 minutes to give my spiel, to talk, and then they'll go through a questionnaire. But here's the thing, they're going to pay me. You dig what I'm saying? And so that's like a blessing. And then she'll be here like April the 1st, where a music institute that's here in Davenport called her down and want her to speak to, their students. And what she do? She bring me in to speak to them. So I just sent her a bio to where April the 1st, me and her is going to go to this little musical institute school, and we're going to speak. She's going to speak, but then she's going to introduce them, and I'll tell them about how I met her in prison, how she got me into songwriting, and how we formed, she formed a choir. I was a part of the choir, and how we wrote songs and stuff like that. This lady took these songs over to like France, and, so she got people in other countries listening to my music, so, um, that's not a show off moment. That's just a look at God and look at race. You dig what I'm saying? And so her heart is way bigger than race. And so what I'm gonna do is, let's crack away at like some of the stereotypes, because I think white people, I think they would do better, man, if they would sit down, if they would try to get to know us. You know, a lot of times I really don't think that they know us, you know. Like for instance, there was this one quote, and I'm gonna try to find it. I got them kind of mixed up here. But this guy says, why is like let me see if I can find it because it's super dope. He was talking about crime and he said something that made so much sense. I ain't got that many quotes. Where is that? It's that deep to find it. But I don't want to mess up anything that he says. Okay. Listen to this, and it makes a lot of sense to me. Why is it that when a white person commits a crime, it is considered an isolated incident? But when a black person commits a crime, it's a representation of our entire community. Listen to that again. Why is it when white people commit a crime, it's considered an isolated incident? Saying like, okay, little incident, you know what I mean? He made a mistake, he was off his square. But when a black person commits a crime, it is a representation of our entire community. And white people, that's a stereotype. You dig what I'm saying? And we've been dealing with it for like a long time. And I hate to say it because, you know, if one person does something, then they treat us all as if, you know what I mean, this is what we own, you know what I mean? And police, you know, you do it too, because that's the reason why you stereotype us or, you know what I mean, you racial profile us when you pull us over. You dig what I'm saying? Hey, auntie, what's up? I see Diane. I ain't seen my auntie Diane in a minute. You know, I'm going to get Uncle Tommy Lee. When I go to Indianapolis this weekend, I'm going to pick him up and I'm bringing back for Bernice's 70th birthday. With God's will, we'll be back here for her birthday. So I'm gonna bring him back here. But think about that, y'all. Why is it that when a white person commits a crime, it's like, oh, he made a mistake. It was just like a little simple incident. But if a black person commit a crime, oh, you guys are murderers. Or, you know what I mean? If something happens, you know, now everybody gets the label that this crime that this person might have committed. And then sometimes, you know, he might not even committed a crime. He might have been set up. You know, it's been situations where it's where people have been set up. Um, I had my own parole officer tell me that she know I've been illegally locked up since June 23 of 2007. Just by looking at my paperwork on how illegal my paperwork was, that I just did 14 years and 4 months illegally, that it shouldn't have stand, that it can't stand, that the trial information was wrong. And so, you know, it's going to be a fight, but she knows it. You know what I mean? When we talk and we sit down there, she knows, you know, she knows exactly what it is, you know, and she'll tell me, you know. And guess what else she'll say? They want to make it right, but what are you going to do? Are you going to sue the state? You see what I'm saying? And so it's like, you know, you did me wrong, but you don't really care that you did me wrong. You're just worried about, am I going to come back and sue the state? You don't care that I just missed 14 years of my kid's life. I miss birthdays. I miss my stepfather funeral. I miss my big brother's funeral. You know what I mean? I've missed out on so many opportunities to see my kids at different events and stuff like that. Birthdays, Christmas, it's time that I just can't get back. But you worried about whether or not you're going to pay me. And so be mindful of that. You know, if a person does commit a crime or something does happen, it does not represent our whole community. You know what I mean? Because I got to give it to you real. You know what I mean? We sometimes we are a product of our environment. Coming up hard or coming up in the hood, sometimes you got this hustle mentality. You know, and it's in all of us. You know, and so I never be mad at somebody when I see them like getting it from the mud. My only problem is it's like, when do you take that knowledge or that money or information and then put that same energy into school, into education, and getting it the right way? And this is why I tell my black brothers this. It's because you're going to appreciate it a lot more. And then whatever you get over here in the education realm, or you get it through a career, or you get it through grinding it the legal way, can't nobody come and take that from you. You dig what I'm saying? They cannot come and snatch that from you. And as much education as you get, they can never come and snatch that from you. So you got to be mindful of that. But white people, just think about some of those things. And why is it this, that if a black woman has big lips or big butt, to the white community, she's considered ugly. But if you're a white woman and you go get your lips filled up to be thick, like Angelina Jolie or like some of the Kardashian sisters, or you go and get your butt done, put a lot of stuff in your butt to make your butt big to emulate, you know, the black goddess type body, you're considered beautiful. Let me get that to you again. Why is it that when a black woman has big lips, big nose, natural hair, a big butt, she's considered ugly? But when it comes to a white woman having it or fixing her body up a certain way, you'll look at her like she's beautiful. And you know, when you do stuff like that and you make it known like that, it hurts. You dig what I'm saying? Because not only are we black, but we got feelings. You dig what I'm saying? I feel you on that one, Nicole. Nicole said, "We are the culture trend." And you have to be mindful of that because everything. And I don't want to get it. What I don't want to do today is I don't want to try to battle with black versus white. I want to battle with love versus hate. But it's very true because black people used to jig and they used to throw jigs and they used to dance and they used to click their heels when they dance. And the white people used to come around and watch them throw parties or have them throw parties and watch them do it. And they stole the moves and they turned it into tap dancing. And so then here they go. They get all the credit for tap dancing. But in actuality, you just stole jigging from the black people. Do you know how much music and stuff that they stole from us from like jazz or, you know what I mean, rhythm and blues songs? How many songs like so many white people stole? And again, this is not a black white thing. This is a love versus a hate thing because again, I got to tell you, there are some beautiful white people in this world. Matter of fact, I got this quote from somebody and I want to read exactly what she said and I'm going to tell you who said it. Matter of fact, here it is. Listen to what she says, and this is for everybody. A soul has no color, no shape, no form. You have the power to change perception, to inspire and empower, and to show people how to embrace their complications and see their flaws and true beauty and strength that's in all of us. She says the soul has no color, no shape, no form. You have the power to change perception, saying that, listen, you as an individual person, what's inside of your soul is what's inside of your heart. You dig what I'm saying? Just because you're white, you don't have to have hate against black people. You dig what I'm saying? Just because you black, you don't have to, you know what I mean, be hateful because I mean we hate on ourselves and I'll get to a little bit of that myself. But she says, a soul has no color, no shape, no form. You have the power to change perception, to inspire and to empower, and to show people how to embrace their complications, saying things that they struggle with, things that they're having a hard time dealing with. Stop assuming that everybody is on the same level knowledge wise or educational wise. Start meeting people where they are and be mindful and patient with everybody, man. Everybody might not, he don't walk like you, she don't walk like her. That's because God made everybody different. That's the reason why everybody has their own fingerprints. I keep telling you that, man. And it says to inspire, empower, and to show people how to embrace their complications and see their flaws and true beauty and strength that's in all of us, saying that everybody has flaws. So stop looking at this person saying, "Oh man, you did this or you did that," because guess what? You got some skeletons in your closet too. You might think that your stuff is not like theirs. You dig what I'm saying? But then again, guess what? You got some stuff that you ain't happy about either. You dig what I'm saying? So stop doing that. And then it says, the true beauty and strength that lies inside of us. Everybody has some type of talent or something that they was created for, and you have a strength. If everybody had the same type of power, what use would we be? The world would be stupid because everybody would be the same. You dig what I'm saying? And guess who said that? Beyonce. Beyonce said that. You know what I mean? And look at her. I can believe it from her. You know what I mean? She's a trendsetter. You dig what I'm saying? She is a trendsetter. So I'm proud of her because she give black girls something to look up to. She's very positive. You know what I mean? She do her thing every time she drop, but she does do that. Um, Let me ask you this, and this is a stereotype that's on black people, and it's kind of like really real though. Why is this? Why is it growing up without a black father in our neighborhoods? Why is it growing up without a black father the norm? That's some questions that white people ask. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm not laughing because it's funny, but then you just look at our neighborhoods. Why is it that the majority of the households do not have the black father in the house? You know what I mean? The majority of the times he's locked up, he's in prison, he might just be in the streets. There's a good percentage of guys that's running from their responsibilities. There's a good percentage of guys that don't even know how to be men. You know what I mean? And you know, I don't give them a pass or a green light to say it's okay. But remember what we just said, to embrace their complications and see their flaws. White people, one thing I want you to understand, we don't always want to use race as a trump card to try to say, hey, y'all didn't have to deal with that. But you have to look at it as a main factor of saying, when you have something like that happens to a group of people, and then not only after they were, so-called freed from slavery, you mentally oppressed them. You still physically oppressed them by lynching them and hanging them, burning up their houses, burning crosses in their houses. Then you was teaching them that they were ugly. You verbally abused them. Yesterday on the podcast, we was talking about the nigger word, calling, your guys niggas, thinking that it's cool, but then getting ready to beat a white person up if they call you a nigger, you know what I mean? Or if they say the N word, you dig what I'm saying? And so just think about that. You know what I mean? And let that sink in. You will never understand us because you never had to go through that. And you never had to deal with a woman, you know what I mean, that's so beautiful, but that has been raped and mistreated. And then not only that, when we did get out of it a little bit, we turned around and we pimped our women out just to make money. You know what I mean? And so I always try to show love to the black woman because I just feel like, mm, you've been through so much, but the black man has been through just as equal, pain too, far as from like taking them out of the workforce. Um, Not only that, but just locking us up. You know, they not only did they hit us with the crack cocaine, and again, white people understand this. When the crack cocaine epidemic came, here's the thing: you pushed it into our neighborhoods, and then you turned around and you started this three strikes and you're outlaw. You dig what I'm saying? Saying on the third strike you can get life. You dig what I'm saying? Ronald Reagan created this war on crack, but not knowing, but not, it ain't gonna say not knowing, but knowing that the crack war is basically against black people. You dig what I'm saying? And really you was using crack to pay for the war. You know what I mean? And so there's so many different devious things that happen to us behind the scenes that we still trying to get over them. And then as you try to get it together, mentally we're not right. And so now you left with like a damaged people, and no matter how many of us come up or become, millionaires or become successful, you know, this stain is still on our communities because now, we behind in education, we behind financially, what I mean, we behind in health, and so there's this saying, when they look at us, black don't crack. You know what I mean? But we show dying of diabetes and we show dying of high blood pressure. You know what I mean? Now you could take the same black person at 65 and measure them up to some other people in a different race that's 65 and they look good. I'm about to be 49 on Saturday. Come on, man. God has been blessing me. And I thank him for that, and a lot of that is that you got to take care of yourself. And, but the moral of the story, what I'm saying is that we die from other things, and we are struggling. The struggle has been going on for so long. One thing I can say to our people is that there's no excuse for you not to do anything now. You know what I mean? You don't have that excuse no more. You have to get up and you have to get out. See, it's one thing to have knowledge. Knowing is half of the battle. You dig what I'm saying? So anytime you know that you got an enemy and you know what your enemy is using against you, then that's where now you can go form your weapon and now you know how to fight. You dig what I'm saying? And so we know what time it is. We ain't stupid no more, you know. Um, we living in a time now that we done had a black president. And so we can't just try to keep blaming, oh, the white man, white man, white man. Not all white people are bad. There's some great white people out here, some good white people out here that'll do some things that'll help you and that'll show you some love if you're willing to help yourself. You know, it's some grimy white people out here. It's some grimy black people out here. You dig what I'm saying? Matter of fact, look at this one right here. Here's a question that, white people want to ask us. They want to know this. Why do we protest with Black Lives Matter, but we tear each other down? That's deep. You know what I mean? How do you do that? How do you protest Black Lives Matter, but then you turn around and you kill each other and you tear each other down? You know what I mean? That don't really make a lot of sense to tell me, you know what I mean, to tell the truth. It don't make a lot of sense at all because if you think about it, as soon as the police do something to one of us, you know, we quick to go make a sign. We'll make a million signs, man, and jumping, and allow, this and that, Black Lives Matter. But then you'll turn around all in your music about how you'll blow somebody down and you'll kill them and how the woman is a bitch, a whore. And you know what I mean? So can't have it both ways, homie. You can't get it both ways. It's like, what are you gonna do? Either you gonna stand for it or you ain't gonna stand for it. You know. Let me ask you this. I had another one. Here's another thing that they wanted to know, and these are like questions that white people were curious about black people, and so it's basically a stereotype. Do all black women use public assistance as a come up? Oh man, do all black women use public assistance as a come up? Okay. And if somebody is on deck, if there's a woman on deck, please tap in and tell me what y'all think about that. You know what I mean? I wish I had a guest or somebody that could speak to that. But you know what I mean? No, it ain't no wild Nicole. I mean, listen, because it's a question. So obviously it's a stereotype because this is how white people think of us. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm not saying not all of them. We just going through love versus hate. We're giving it to you raw. Like this is, some of the things that they think about black people. Do all black women use public assistance as a come up? A damn good question because I'm curious. Now, let me vent for like a minute. I don't want to be on no soapbox, but let me vent for a minute. Um, I'm going through a situation with child support, and most of it is because I was incarcerated, and so now that my daughter's older, it's called back pay. You dig what I'm saying? And so it's like this. I'll take my hats off to a lady who will use public assistance as a stepping stone because you dig what I'm saying. Um, I feel like this country owes us, and so to me, I ain't gonna even front. Get what you can get from the government when they giving it to you. But here's the thing: if you got a good baby daddy in your life and he take care of his kids, and you steadily leaning on these people to get their assistance, and you getting that, and he's still doing what he's supposed to be doing, that's wrong. Because at some point in time, you dig what I'm saying, you can get him in the jam because anything that you get from them, they're gonna make him pay it back. And if he's in that child's life and he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, you dig what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden you know what I mean, you letting them take from him, and you know what I mean? Or if you know that you working and you know that you got other source and other means of leveling up, but you still over here not telling them, like, yeah, I still want these food stamps. You know what I mean? If I tell them that I'm working over here, they're gonna cut them food stamps off, but you still taking the food stamps. You're not knowing that them food stamps, dude has got to pay them back. And if you working a job and you just ain't tell them now, then when they catch up with you, then they'll cut you off. But in the meantime and in between time, are you using it as a come up, or are you using it as a stepping stone? Again, I feel like anything that you get from the government, I feel like this country owes it to us. You damn right. Go down there and sign up for them. You dig what I'm saying? I get a link card today. Today I just got hit with with my link card, and I want it all. You dig what I'm saying? But it's not going to be a crutch or a handicap for me. You dig what I'm saying? Because I'm always, leveling up. I'm trying to figure out different ways to become an entrepreneur. And I feel like any woman that can get there and then use that, get on your feet. Like, say, for instance, here go the routine. What if you getting public assistance and you going to school? You know what I mean? You need it. You dig what I'm saying? So as soon as you graduate from school, then all of a sudden, once you get you a job, and then all of a sudden you level up and you go get you something else, I don't want nothing from y'all. You dig what I'm saying? Because regardless of whatever, you only got them. You can only make a certain amount before they're gonna cut that off anyway. And it's sort of like what Paper Paul was saying when we was talking about tax time. If you sitting back and you waiting on taxes every month, you in the wrong bracket, because real people that make real money, they don't get taxes back. They wind up owing taxes. And that's where you really want to be at in life, to the point where you never stop winning. You always leveling up. Every time somebody, put something in your face, then you got to use it as a stepping stone. Then you got to come up and say, okay, thank you for that. Boom, that was a boost. And it's funny. You dig what I'm saying? Because I've seen it. I've seen it. You know, I'm from the projects, you know, I done been in the projects where that's the thing. Shorty and them got a little crib, low income apartment. She got some kids, you know what I mean? You go over there, rent ain't nothing but a couple of dollars, like like $27. Come on, man. We play spades all night and dominoes all night and sell dope in the hallway. Come on. We been there. We did that. But when does that stop? And so, tell you the truth, ladies, that's something to really think about. You know, do you use public assistance as a come up? Let me ask you this. This is crazy. Why is it that if a black woman has long hair or good hair, she has to be mixed? That's crazy. You know what I mean? Even in our own community, we wind up saying little stupid stuff like that. Like, would you mix? Or somebody will try to lie, like, I got Indian in my family. Ain't no damn Indian in your family. Cut it out. You dig what I'm saying? There it is. Or Indian. That's the first thing they're going to say. You Indian. But listen, that's crazy. Just because you got a good grade of hair, or if your hair is long, you know what I mean? If your hair is long, you know what I mean? They think that, you know what I mean, you mix with something. I'm gonna tell you something. Uh, I can't forget my little buddy name. She made me an ashtray for my birthday. But any which way it goes, uh, Tiffany and T Man's daughter. Man, when she was a little girl, she was so dark skinned and beautiful and black, and her hair used to just be the longest, man. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm just talking about, you know what I mean? When you look at T Man and you look at Tiff, both of them of dark descent, you know what I mean? And Mick's got a good grade of hair. You dig what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? I know his mom and his dad. You dig what I'm saying? They black. But you know what I mean? They just got good hair. You dig what I'm saying? And it ain't had to be like no Indian, or you know what I mean, nothing like that, man. But I remember his little daughter, man. She used to have like beautiful long hair and stuff. My little buddy made me an ashtray for my birthday, man. All right. Okay. Another thing white people want to know, black people. Why is it so hard for us to be on time to work? You dig what I'm saying? And I know that's a stereotype. Comedians even joke about that, and you know something, black people? Um, when I was working at Sterilite, that's one thing I used to do, man. I used to love to be at work on time. I was never late at work, except for, I was behind an accident one day. Um, Only time I ever got points from work is like if I had to go home because I didn't get sleep. When that insomnia get bad on me and I don't get sleep at night, I couldn't go in there and do 12 hours. So I had a day when I had to go. I got sent home for that because I was tired and I couldn't work. But being prompt and being on time, showing people that you can be there on time, and showing them that you can be it's sort of like a trust factor. You dig what I'm saying? You give me a job, you expect me to be here on time. You know what I mean? Because you pay me a certain amount of money an hour to do a certain job, and I ain't gonna even front. At the end of the week, I want my check and I want all my coins to be there, and so I'm gonna be there on time. You know, and just think, if you turn into an entrepreneur, you become an employer, man. I mean, why do you want to hire people who want to show up when they want to show up? You know, and as crazy as it sounds, you know, they want to always say, like, um, they call it like a stereotype just on us. But just think about it, man. Do we party sometimes too much? You know, like throughout the weekdays. You got to go to work the next day, but y'all want to stay up all night. You want to drink. You want to smoke. You smoke real good. You chiefing all night. Somebody kicking it over here, so y'all over there kicking it, playing cards, or went to the club and you got to get up. Now it's time to get up and go to work, and you tired. Now you all at work feeling down and feeling a mess. And then as soon as they fire you, guess what you got to do? Go back and get that public assistance. Turn up for Christ or burn up for life. And so I know all of my people ain't like that. I know some hard workers. You know what I mean? And guess what? Them people are successful. And that goes for anybody. Because now in this day and age, that ain't just black people. That could be anybody. But it happens sometimes. Oh man. This was some stereotypes that black people say about each other. Like, say for instance, I always wondered this, ladies. When you meet a man, why do you always have to look at his shoes? You know? And I just wanted to hear it from a female's perspective. If a female is out there and she say that, you dig what I'm saying? Let me know. What's up, Dominic? My dude? What's the word, baby? But listen, I think this right here. I think when a woman look at your shoes, like, you know what I mean, when she walk up on you, she notice you, or like, say if you go try to holler at a lady, the first thing she might do is she might look down at your shoes, because it's a model. If a man take care of his feet, like his shoe game, you dig what I'm saying? Because this is it's true story. Like, listen, I can have on some jeans and a nice clean t-shirt and some fresh Air Force Ones, and I'm still gonna be to the beat. You dig what I'm saying? And I can, you know what I mean, I could be out in public or something like that, and my confidence would be there to where, you know what I mean, I feel like, you know what I mean, I wouldn't be ashamed. You dig what I'm saying? I don't have to be, you know what I mean, laced every time. But I take care of my shoes anyway. My cousins and them taught me that when I was in elementary. So I always been a 409 boy. You dig what I'm saying? I can go show you shoes that I got when I got out of prison right now, and they still clean to this day. I'm talking about October 19th of 2021. I can go get you a pair right now and show you the shoe soles of them. And they just as clean as they was when I wore them back then. You dig what I'm saying? Because that's me. You know what I mean? And I think it's something about that. Um, I I wonder what's some of the things that we look at a woman, when we first meet her. Um, your hair don't necessarily have to be the flyest, you know what I mean? But it's cool, you know what I mean? Uh, I think sometimes you might look at their nails, you might look at their shoes, but see, women, y'all get away with like a lot of other stuff though, because y'all could be out at stores and like house shoes and like flip flops or like in clogs and stuff like that. So I guess if your feet are showing, you definitely gonna try to see if them toenails is done. You dig what I'm saying? That's gonna be a factor. You know what I mean? And you know, um, I don't know. Sometimes I think ladies might get a pass. You dig what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you something. If she nice, she thick, or something like that, you dig what I'm saying? She gonna get a pass because you might see her in the store and you be like, boom, yeah, she might look crazy. You mess around, see her like later on that night, boy, you be like, man, she'll look like a diva or something. You dig what I'm saying? You know? And so, but it's really real, ladies. She said you take care of yourself, clean, no dirt. But I'm saying, what is the whole big deal about the shoes? My cousin JD, he put me on to the clean shoes when I was the shorty. He showed me, you know what I mean? Well, then a lot of times he tricked me to clean his shoes at night though too. And so he was the big cousin. So he had all the shoes and stuff like that. And so a lot of times he'll let me wear like a shirt or something. So I keep his shoes and stuff clean. But then he showed me how to 409 my shoes. You know, my cousin Chill, they they was older than me, so it's like when I was in elementary, they was in high school. And so by that time, they was already into girls. And so they was, kind of like teaching me then. She says, okay, take care of yourself, clean no dirt. Listen to this. Let me see if this is right. Nice teeth, fresh breath, no dirt under the nails. List goes on. Yeah, I can say it's not like a, I'm saying like if you see him in a store, you know what I mean? What are you looking for? Because I'm very conscious of my nails. You know what I mean? I don't want no nails because I got a bald head. And in the summertime, if I scratch my head, sometimes they can get dirty. So sometimes I will just wash dishes just to make sure my nails is clean, just to clean them out. So I'm conscious of that. I'm very conscious of my breath, brushing my teeth and my breath. And my shoe game has always been together. You know what I mean? She said, clean, put together swag. Yeah, but I'm just saying, if you just seen him at the store, you know what I mean? I just was kind of curious, like, how did that come about? What was that big old thing about looking at the shoe game? Because, I know it's real. You know what I mean? But my shoe game has been together for a while. You dig what I'm saying? My shoe game been together ever since I was looking. Listen, true story. I remember one time I was in the sixth grade, and back then you used to break dance, right? And so we used to rock these Pumas with the fat laces. So if you was a b-boy and you break dance, you'd had to have these Pumas with the fat laces. So I remember at Payless, they had these Pro Wings. And now the Pro Wings, they had sort of like a Puma symbol. Then they had another Puma symbol that come upwards. And so it was like, my dad had gave me some school shopping money. It wasn't really a whole lot, but he gave me some money, gave it to my auntie. And so I guess she was gonna take me to Payless and like, boom, go grab these shoes right here, go grab you a couple of shirts, and that's gonna get you started for the school year. Man, listen, I sit inside Payless, man, and cried for like for like about 10 minutes. Like, I cannot go to school with these Pro Wings on. I gotta have some Pumas. And I mean, TT had to vouch for me. TT was like, listen, mama, ain't nobody wearing them. It's like, man, he can't go to school with them on. He in the sixth grade. It's like, man, you cannot go to school with them Pro Wings on. You got to go to school with like some Pumas. And man, I sit there and I cried until I got them Pumas, man. But it's always been like that. Ever since, I can remember, I ain't have to have like, the most expensive. But man, my shoe game, man, I had to have some nice shoes, man. And so I keep that model up today. Let me see. What else was on that card? Okay, the shoes. Listen to this. This lady said this, and I think this is serious. Now we're gonna get really serious right here. Why are we more engaged into doing the new dances or trends on TikTok than we are more engaged into politics or activism or opening up a business? Why are we more engaged into getting into the new trend, dance trend on TikToks than being into politics or activism or opening up a business? I'm gonna tell you right now, politics and activism can be deep. You have to have a love. You have to have acquire desire for that. And what I mean by that, most people that are in politics, what I mean, they was in debate class. These are people that, you know what I mean. Okay, we just said, man, as a whole, I stay on tracks with the neon laces. Oh hell no! I remember I had tracks, but what I mean, you get laughed at with the tracks because the tracks wasn't Adidas. See, the tracks was supposed to be like Adidas. You dig what I'm saying? But the tracks had the four lines. The Adidas had the three. And so, man, I remember getting the tracks. You know what I mean? Going back to the neighborhood and getting joned on. They get down on you for the tracks, vice versus the Adidas. So I remember them. But listen, when it comes to like politics or activism, you dig what I'm saying? You really have to have a heart and a passion for it. Now, with the dances on TikTok, um, if you get people that post a lot, you know what I mean, or they're using social media as a means to get like businesses. I've looked at some people on YouTube and I've seen some like little young kids and some young ladies really making a dollar from posting, Now, vice versa when we saying grown people and trends and stuff like that, because you do see it. You'll see some people get out there with their daughters or their kids and they'll follow the latest trends, vice versa, getting engaged. Now they say you ain't got to go straight politics or be an activist, but I do think we all got a duty to see what's going on in your neighborhood and to see what can you do to make your neighborhood better, or try to find a community where some of your people are lacking. We was talking about that like last night, and I was trying to tell G Nice, he kind of said it like, when it's come to these kids, this Gen Z kids, um, people got to start, you know what I mean, taking care of their kids. They got to start getting their kids together and stuff like that. And one of the things I think is that a lot of these kids don't know how to raise kids. You know what I mean? We got kids raising kids, and a lot of right now we don't have people where it's being taught, because the music runs the culture. Whatever the music is, that's where the culture is at. So if you want to know what's going on in the culture, only thing you got to do is listen to the music. It's always been like that, and that's what it's going to be. You know, um, take for instance in the '70s, Marvin Gaye and them, and James Brown and them, they had messages in songs. When rap first came out, rap had messages in songs. Even in the '80s, you know what I mean, they started having messages. When the West Coast started getting popular, or the South started getting popular, then they started talking about what was going on in their neighborhoods. Then it just transformed, and people just started getting on. If y'all remember when Colors first came out, Colors transformed the whole damn world, man. All about Bloods and Crips. Next thing you know, Bloods and Crips was all over the place. You dig what I'm saying? I'm talking about, we went from BCP, which was the Black Cultural Posse, to Seven Deuce. Seven minus two was the five, and we nation business. We vice lords. We conservative vice lords. So we made it be known that this is our neighborhood. You know what I mean? Being influenced by dude from off Colors, 2-1 Homes. You joined the gang, 2-1 Homes. So the music, Ice T, Colors, Colors, Colors. You dig what I'm saying? The music always influences the generation. So if the TikTok videos, this is what they dancing to in the TikTok videos. If you see them over in Africa, everybody's shaking their booty. They doing the videos, and this is what it is right now. Until people start being conscious and saying, "Hey, when are you gonna do something about it?" If you do some music or something like that, and you see it a problem, start making better music, But it ain't gonna stop until we all decide that we're gonna start. Everybody got to do something. You just can't sit back and look at that and say, "Oh, why do you protest Black Lives Matter, but you tear Black people down?" You dig what I'm saying? That's a real live statement, because it's true. But as Black people, we got to start doing something. You know what I mean? You can't just talk about it. You got to be about it. That's the reason why, man, I try to do the bare truth. And Sunday through Thursdays now, because what are we gonna do, man? Sh- you know, it's so much other stuff that we can be out here doing. You dig what I'm saying? Even like say right now, we got like three, it be jumping back and forth, but there's so many people that be watching from a distance. And so even if you just tap in and then tap out and then you come back and you watch it later, sometimes it'd be like 100, sometimes it'd be a couple of hundred people that viewed it. That's a couple of hundred people that's getting a chance to hear something positive and get a chance to think about doing something different. You dig what I'm saying? What if I only inspire like 5 people to do something different? Man, God bless them. You know what I mean? Maybe they'd be glorified. All right, now I'm gonna read you some of these stuff, and we're gonna go down some of this. What time is it? I'm tripping. Oh man, we got 10 minutes left. We just been sitting up here talking. Turn up for Christ or burn up for life. We just been chilling, man. I think this one flows smoother because this is so easy to talk about. Let me read some of these positive quotes and we're going to go over them. Listen to this. This is dope. Never look down on anybody unless you are helping them up. Never look down on anybody unless you are helping them up. Man, how many people need that one right now? You dig what I'm saying? Don't look down on people unless you're helping them up, man. You know what I mean? And really take that seriously. First of all, who are you to look down on somebody as if they're nothing? You know what I mean? Even people that I feel like I'm I'm not compatible with no more. Still not looking down on you. You know what I mean? Just because we're not compatible, just because you might do something that I don't do, that don't mean that I'm better than you or you less than me. Nah, that ain't what that mean. That just mean I'm in a different area of life that I feel which is convenient or better for me. I keep telling you, I'm not better than anyone. I just know what's best for me. You dig? All right. And I think, man, take that with you, bro, sister, somebody, whoever you are. Never look down on anyone unless you're helping them up. Man, okay. We all require and want respect, man or woman, black or white. It's our basic human rights. Okay. It makes sense. We all require and want respect, whether you're a man or whether you're a woman, whether you're black or whether you're white. It's our basic human rights. It says, as a human, you have a right to be respected. And it sounds so simple, but it's really real. You know what I mean? It's super real though. Just think about that. We all require and want. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be respected. But remember last week I was telling you, you know what I mean? Um, Always demand respect, even from yourself. You know what I mean? And it's like sometimes you can disrespect yourself when you know the right thing to do and you're not doing the right thing, you know? You say, but you gotta stand and set those boundaries. You gotta stand and set those boundaries. That's of course. Check this one out. It says, if you have no confidence, you are twice defeated in this life. Hmm. That's pretty dope. If you have no confidence, you are self, you don't if you don't have any confidence in yourself, you are twice defeated in this life. Hmm. He says you twice defeated in this life. I'm trying to put a grasp on that. He says if you don't have any confidence in yourself, you are twice defeated. Number one, you don't believe in yourself. And number two, how can you set any type of goals? How can you have any motivation or ambition to win if you don't even got confidence in yourself? Because when you don't got confidence in yourself, you'll always tell yourself no. Like there was a story in the Bible where Moses sent these spies out and they go in to spy this land that God is supposed to be giving them. And so when they get over there, these people are giants. But man, everything in the land is love. I'm talking about, they said the grapes were so big. They have never seen grapes and fruits this big to the point they had to carry grapes on a stick. But two people came back, man. Caleb and Joshua, they came back and they was just like, man, we seen the people, but God is going to give them into our land. But the other eight people, they were so scared. They was like, man, we are like ants to these people. These people are giants. They'll smash them to the point the whole congregation got scared and they was feared that God could not give them the land because they didn't trust. Now they trusted him that he had just split the Red Sea and swallowed up Pharaoh and his people. But now he's giving you this land, and just because the people is giants, they didn't have no confidence in God. Man, listen, you got to have confidence in yourself. I don't care, who you are, but make sure that you're trying to do the thing that it is that God is giving you the talent or the gift to do. But I'm going to tell you something. Even if you don't feel like, it's something, if you think that you can do it, the best way to face your fear is to run straight into it. Anything that I feel like, you know what I mean, that's going to be a fear to me, hell no. I'm going straight into it, man. Only thing that's going to happen, I'm going to either get you or you're going to get me. And if you get me, guess what? Now I got the knowledge on how to come at you the next time. You right, Salisa, do it. Okay, now listen to this. Before you can make a dream come true, you must first have a dream. That sounds simple but dope. Before you can make a dream come true, you must first have a dream. Man, get that vision board. Start putting your dreams and all your goals on your vision board. Start writing your dreams down. G Nice said he's starting to wake up out of his sleep and write his dreams down. Write them down. You know what I mean? Nothing comes to a sleeper, man. You gotta have dreams, journals. You dig what I'm saying? Put that one up there. Some people need to know that's real stuff, man. When you write down stuff, the Bible even says, take the vision, write it down, make it clear. You know what I'm saying? My people lack. He says they lack because they perish before the lack of knowledge. You dig what I'm saying? People lack, or they perish because of the lack of knowledge, because you're not trying to get anywhere. You know what I mean? You have to keep growing in education. You have to keep dreaming. You have to keep going. You got to have confidence in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, is how can anybody else believe in you? You dig what I'm saying? Listen to this. Hate is too great of a burden to bear. It injures the hater more than it injures the hated. Listen to that again. Hate is too great to hate is too great of a burden to bear. It injures the hater more than it injures the hated. And always remember that. That's Coretta Scott King. That's Martin Luther King's wife. So if you didn't know, she pretty smart. So if I was you, I'd listen to her. No, for real, for real. No, listen to Coretta. She know a little something. She was walking with the king, you dig? So I'm pretty sure some of his knowledge rubbed off on her. But listen to that. Hate is too big of a burden to bear. It injures the hater more than it does the hated. It takes too much energy to hate on somebody, man. You dig what I'm saying? So a person told me like this. He says, you know what I mean? Being mad at somebody or holding a grudge against somebody is just like drinking poison but expecting them to die. Check that out. You drinking the poison, but you expect them to die. It's poisonous. Hate is poisonous. And let me tell you something else. I'm gonna keep it real. Don't you know that people that are haters that naturally are mean and stuff like that, they so ugly? You dig what I'm saying? They so ugly. You know me. Joyous people, beautiful people is always smiling. I don't care. I love smiling and laughing people that's always laughing and smiling and upbeat about something. But if somebody is mean and grumpy all the time and always negative and stuff, if you look at them, man, they just look a mess, man. They look ugly. You dig what I'm saying? You're right about that. Hate is poison, man. And straight up. So remember that. Where we at? We got 2 more minutes. Let me try to read. Um, Okay. Since we read something from Coretta, let's read something from her husband. The time is always right to do the right thing. Seems so simple, but it's dope. The time is always right to do the right thing. Man, at all given time, anytime you think about it, man, always do the right thing. I don't care if you hurt somebody, man, go back and apologize. I don't care, man, if you let somebody down, go back and make it right. Always show respect. Always try to show up at your job at the right time. Always give it 100%. Always making sure that when you go to a store, you do something. Man, live as if when nobody's watching you, as if God is counting on you. You know what I mean? And I'm telling that to myself sometimes though too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you it's like I'm perfect, but that's how I always try to live. Sometimes I be somewhere and I'll be by myself, and man, my little stinking little mind, it'll try to take me back to the old me. And I have to be mindful, like, you know what? He checking me out. And you know what? I'm trying to make him proud of me. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make him proud of me, straight up. So do that. The time is always right to do the right thing. We need more people doing the right thing, especially when everything is wrong. All right. So I'm going to read y'all one more, and I'm trying to find a good one. Oh, this is a good one. And I'll tell you who wrote this one after I read it. Check this out. She said, you may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, my life, she says, but still, like life, I will rise. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like life, I will rise. That's Maya Angelou, boy. She's super dope. And listen to what that says to me. You know, me and everybody else of the Christian faith, you know, when you leave this shell, that spirit man is gonna rise. You dig what I'm saying? And the whole poem is so dope. When she speaks that poem is so dope. But she says, like life, I will still rise. So that's even, what I mean, for anybody that's being racist, if anybody is being hate, you can say what you want to say against me. You can look at me however you want to look at me. You can even try to chop me down in your courtrooms. You could try to kill me at the jobs, or, stop me because you don't want me to work here. You don't want me to work there. But like life, I'm still going to rise. Hate versus love versus hate. Love is always going to win. You know why? Because love covers a multitude of sins, and God is love. And so hate is just only around for a minute. You know what I mean? It might look like it's winning sometimes, but it's not. You know what I mean? And the only thing you got to do is just try to outshine hate. If you can always outdo hate with love, you know what I mean? Just try to find the love in any situation. If you're having a bad conversation and it go wrong, let me give you an example. I don't know how much time I got left. I'm 1 minute over anyway. I'm gonna give you this example. I had a guy, he messed up his son's hair, right? So his girl cussed him all the way out. She's super duper mad. She like, you know what? You always off drugs. You make me sick. You done got sit up and got high, and now you want to take the clippers and you want to cut on his hair. So I'm coming out of church, and I just got done cutting my buddy Jada's in them hair. I got done cutting her son in them hair, and so I went to the grocery store. I'm getting ready to go to the crib, and so he called me. He said, "Hey man, Bear." He says, "I need you, man." He says, "Man, I F my son's hair up, man." He said his girlfriend is over here. She laughing at him. And he got to go to school tomorrow. He was like, man, he mad. He was like, my girl, she done cussed me out so bad. And he was like, I need you. And in a situation like that, I just knew, like, okay, let me go over here because he's a kid and let me get him together, because self-esteem is important when a kid goes to school. And so I'm like, man, let me go over here. And I'm telling you, when I get done, I hope I still got these pictures in my phone, and I'm going to post these pictures right after the podcast. I meant to do it last time. I'm going to post these pictures just to show you what he did and then what I did to make it right. And so, listen, the moral of the story is this. She calls. So she at work, right? So now she calling to the crib, just trying to see what's going on. So when he answered the phone, I can just hear her in the background, like, what? So what happened? You know what I mean? You make me sick. What was you doing? You was popping pills. I don't know what she was telling me, right? So he was like, my guy's over here right now, babe. He fixing his hair right now. He fixing him. He bringing him back and stuff like that. And so she's still cussing and stuff. So he just, only thing he just says, yeah. He was like, yeah, you're right. I love you. And he said, soon as he said, I love you, it's like she shut up. You dig what I'm saying? Because he was, and then so when he hung up the phone, he laughing right now. He high, but he don't understand it. Remember, I was just telling you, the Bible says love covers a multitude of sins. And he was just saying, like, listen, he was like, yeah, she cussing me out. She was so mad. He was saying, but he's like, I just hit her with, you right. I love you. And he said, when I said that, he said she didn't have no comeback for that. You dig what I'm saying? It was like all of a sudden she just shut up. And it was like, because, when a person is arguing with you and they mad and they fighting and, they giving you whatever they got, but then you just kill them with kindness, or you say something like, yeah, you right. I love you. God bless. It was like she didn't know what to say. And it's true, man. It's really true in life, man. Listen, somebody is being on rah-rah, or they acting a fool and they acting a mess. Kill them with love, fam. I'm telling you, it wins every time. Kill them with love. And sometimes it's going to be hard. It ain't going to always be easy. I'm not telling you it is. But when you kill somebody with love, or when you use love in a situation, you really using God. There's a scripture where God says, vengeance is mine, thus says the Lord, I shall repay. So a lot of times God is saying, listen, get out the way and let me handle it. Right now, I want you to show him love. And that's so foreign to us because we so quick to rah, rah, rah. You got to give it back to him. I got to show you ain't no punk. I got to prove to you that I'm so hardcore. But I'm telling you, love conquers hate every time. I love y'all. Bear truth. And it's a wrap. Listen, man, I might not show up on Sunday. My birthday is on Saturday. I'm gonna be in Nap, so I don't know what time I'm gonna get back home. But Monday, we're gonna come right back, man. You know what I mean? With God's will on Saturday, it'll be my birthday. What you say? Kill them with love. Love covers a multitude of sins. Ain't that the truth, sis? Listen, man, I love y'all, man. God bless y'all. And I'll see y'all next week. Bear truth.